Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh, and I don't know what this kitten's name is, but he's got a flat face and he's pretty cute. Look how cute this kitten is. If you need to hit a dopamine, this isn't going to be a show because I'm going to complain. I've had the craziest, no good week you've ever heard of in your entire life. And I'm going to vent. Story time. Let's go. And this is the orange one. Hey. We've got two kittens here, and it's a long story. We'll get to the story. So I don't really do story times because I have a really bad memory. Like I can remember certain stories and stuff like that, but this past week has been an effing gong show. And I'll tell you why. So it all started a few months ago where I've had some people in my life who just need a little bit of help. Sometimes you need a little bit of help. And I offered a little bit of help, right? So it includes an RV and just purchasing a really, really cheap RV because I wanted to get an RV anyway and fix it up. So it's a perfect opportunity. Somebody needs some help. I need a cheap RV. It's like synergy. So I get this RV. And I take it out to the East Coast, which is about a 19-hour drive in a 1989 E350 Tioga. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And basically the idea is I'm going to allow these people who are my life, who I love, to stay in it until I can figure out a place to stay because the market for rentals and real estate, especially in the East Coast, is ridiculous. So it's not that you can't afford a place, it's that you can't find a place. Because everybody's moving out to the East Coast. The laptop class is taking over all the rural areas because they don't have to live in the city anymore. And so they're looking for cheap housing, nice place to stay because they can work from home. And so they're like, well, I'll work from here. I'll work from New Brunswick. And there's a lot of great looking places out in New Brunswick, right? If you never lived there, I hate New Brunswick, but it's nice. Like if I didn't grow up with bad memories there, I probably would like it. The towns are really quaint. The houses are really, really unique and old, but it's got character. So I can understand why people want to live out in the East Coast, right? It's cheap too. That's another reason. So the laptop class has made their way out to the East Coast, and you cannot find a nice place to live for the life of you, right? And I'm not even saying even if you can afford it, which the people in my life can afford it. They just couldn't find a place. It was insanity. So I let them use the RV for the summer. They just camped for the summer, and it's fun. I would definitely camp for the summer. So that was all smooth, okay? Except for the fact that gas in Quebec on my way out there was $2.27 a liter. Now, Americans that watch the show, which is most of you, so I'm going to put it in this little thing here. So $2.27 a liter is $6.56 a gallon, right? I know a lot of you were like, clutching pearls? You should clutch your pearls. F the governments who are effing us all over. Also, it's my first time driving an RV and didn't realize, don't drive an RV over 105 kilometers an hour, right? Which is about, I don't know, let me see, it's 62 miles per hour, okay? And when you drive an RV, already the motor is a massive honking piece of honking, gas guzzling craziness, okay? I was like, I'll drive 115 kilometers, okay? Which is 71 miles per hour, which is the stupidest thing you could possibly do in a large vehicle because it consumes like 4 times the amount of gas, okay? 4 times. I drove it home 2 days ago, and I drove about 90 kilometers an hour. It's America, it's 55 miles an hour, okay? About that the whole way. Took a lot longer, but I saved, I'm not kidding you, $400 in gas. So it cost me $900 in gas to get it out there. On the way back, I slowed it. That's the craziness. Okay, gas was cheaper. Obviously, yes, it's still cheaper. Not as much. Well, yeah, it was a little bit cheaper. What was it? $5.17 a gallon. So it was a little bit cheaper. I did save money on the way home. But I'll get to that in a second because we were Tarantinoing this right now. We're at the end of the trip where it was like I needed to, I was praying for the Lord to take me back home. But here's how it happened. So I get the RV out there. I fly home. Okay? They're all settled in, happy to help. Good. I bought the RV and literally drove it out the next day. So I didn't, get to take part in the RV whatsoever, right? So I get it out there. They've got it from the moment I bought it. And it was, again, it's a 1989, very cheap RV. When I get it back, I'm going to renovate it because that's what I want to do. So get it all back. Everything's going great. Everybody's happy. And then another family member of mine is like, okay, I'm moving, and we're trying to plan their move so that they can move. I'm purposely leaving out details because I don't want to tell you their story because it's more involved on both sides. Okay, it's none of your business, none of my business to tell you their business. But I'm helping my family is all I'm telling you. Okay, so I finally book a time to go out and help this other family member, and we pack the vehicle, drive it out somewhere close. Okay, that all kind of happens. It happens. Like money. Things are going wrong. There's just nothing going right. You ever had that? You ever have like a day or days or weeks where just nothing goes right? Well, that's what's happening here, okay? Nothing was going right. Just nothing. I don't know how else to say it. So that coincides with the moment that my other person is like, we found a place. We finally found a place. But you got to come get this RV or you're going to have to pay a bunch of money to just leave it parked at the RV park. Which I'm like, no, I'll come get it. My plan was to come get it anyway. When I moved this other person here, they have cats. We have 4 cats here that don't belong in this house. And I don't know if you could tell, I'm not allergic to my cats because I've had my cats for 16 years, okay? I'm not allergic to my cats, but I am allergic to cats. Just picking those cats up, I took my Blexten. I take a medicine every day for my allergies. It's just took it like 20 minutes ago, so it should clear soon. But just having these cats in this house, I can't even breathe. That's how badly... Look how cute they are, though. Like, okay? It's okay if you're allergic and gonna die. Look how cute they are. So we can handle it. My kids love them here. They're being adopted, so we're just holding on to them so they're adopted. We got this flat-face, ugly-ass cat here. I don't know what they're called. They're ugly. But we got this flat-faced, ugly-ass cat here and another cat. They're the person that I moved here. They're their cats. So we're just holding on to them until that person can get into a place and all that stuff. So that was a crazy move to begin with, okay? Because, that's me, and I'm driving a big truck down a highway. It's a 6-hour drive. It's all stressful. Everybody's stressed on moving day. It's stress. It's stress city. So get back. My other family member calls me. We're done with the RV. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Okay, so I got to... And my family's up hanging out with the in-laws up in Ottawa, and it's all good, right? So I have time to do what I got to do. So that's why I posted repost week this week, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to be out there trying to sell this RV or bring it back, whatever the case may be, right? I really wanted to sell it and get rid of it because I had bought another used RV since then that I wanted to fix up. And I liked that one better. So it's like, okay, I'll just sell that one and I can sell it for more than I bought it for because that's just the deal I got. The moment that RV got posted, when I was trying to help the other family member, I went and bought it the hour it was posted because of the amazing deal it was. I literally could have turned around an hour later and sold it for about $2,000 more than I bought it for. That was the deal. The guy just wanted to get rid of it. Didn't want to mess around with anybody. I said, I'll come right now with cash. Gave him the cash, drove away. Okay. Cost me $900 to drive it out there. I had to insure it. I had to pay the tax on it. So I'm in this thing an extra $1,500 on top of what I bought it for. So I at least want to sell it and break even, right? That's good business. I don't want to lose money on this. So I easily could still sell this thing for more than it's worth and break even. But I said, Mark and I want to renovate it for our YouTube channel that we're starting called Doodads. And we're going to renovate it and make it an amazing little mini house, right? That can on wheels. It's going to be incredible. So I said, Mark, well, should we just keep this and rent it? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And if I reno that thing, it's going to be worth double what I bought it for, especially if Mark's going to help me reno it, right? We're going to gut it, reno it. It's going to be sick. Anyway, that's a side thing. I know my stories are long and convoluted, but whatever. I said, okay, I'll get a flight. My wife's in Ottawa with the kids, so I didn't have a ride to the airport, right? Tyson is not going to drive me to the airport. Tyson is not comfortable driving on the highway, and I'm not going to force him to do that, right? So I said, fine. I'll get a ride share to the airport, which is just like Uber, a little bit cheaper. $130 it cost me to get from where I live to the airport. At 4th, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. So this is where this shit starts hitting the fan, okay? I wake up at 3:30. My flight is at 6:45. So I wake up at 3:30. My ride shows up at 4 a.m. I get to the airport at 5:11 a.m., okay? You're doing the math with me, right? Which is almost 2 hours before my flight. Now, if you're flying international anywhere out of the Pearson Airport, which is the worst airport on planet Earth where we are right now, because our government is garbage when it comes to like ArriveCAN and masking and all those rules that everybody else seems to have just let go. Our government refuses to let go of this stuff. And it is what it is. You got to follow the rules, right? But because of these rules, and because of everything else going on, and because we can't hire enough people at our airport, which is a massive airport, there's delays galore. So they say it used to be arrive 2 hours before an international flight, 1 hour before a domestic flight, which I still am under the assumption that is true. And it is true, by the way. Based on I'll get to that in a second. So I arrived close to 2 hours early my flight. I get in line. Flair Airlines, which I'm going to throw into the bus here in a second, isn't there to blame, obviously, but I am also have some blame to bear. The short story is we get to the front of the line, and by the time the lineup gets to the front, there's a lady who's walking into the line and saying, "This person, we're taking them. You guys are basically screwed." I'm not kidding. So a lot of us who are waiting in line in this lineup to get our boarding pass, they're telling us you're screwed. I'm like, well, why don't you just get some more people to help us check in or go faster? Because we were all here 2 hours before our flight, basically. Okay, people behind me a little bit, maybe 1.5 hours at the last person. It's still 1.5 hours though. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. The other problem with Flair Airlines, especially at Pearson, is there's no directions to where to go. You can go online and say, "Where's Flair Airlines?" You know that it's at, Gate 3 or whatever it's called, or Concourse 3. There's huge concourses at Pearson Airport, massive. So 3 is where they are. That's great. But the concourse is about 1 kilometer long. So you got to walk up and down, up and down, up and down, looking for their sign. And their logo is garbage, by the way. It's like white. Not even a color, like at least Swoop, who is, I think, owned by the same people, is bright pink. You can see Swoop from space, okay? You can see it. Flair, it's like a light, crusty blue that you can't see. So you're looking around. I'm asking security. I don't know. They don't know. Yet, if you want to go to the information booth, it's on the first floor, about 0.5 kilometer away from where Flair is. Got to go down to information. Where's Flair? Oh, it's up here, because they move them around. It's not like WestJet or Air Canada where you know exactly where to go. They're there all the time. These discount airlines are just like assigned a place to be. So you don't know where they are when you get there, which is, I get that. So I say show up a little early. That's what they say. Got it. So I get in line at 5:15. 1 hour and 30 minutes before my flight, okay? I look at the security line, no security line. That's the beauty of going on early flights. There's no security line. You're feeling safe because, okay, there's not an hour of security. You're good to go, right? And there's a secret line on the other side of 3, which is like 0 line. Nobody knows about it. No one goes over there for some reason. It's awesome. And they kind of direct you that way. We're in line, and I need to reiterate, guys. I was on time. I was 1 hour and 45 minutes early, a little bit more than 1 hour, 45 minutes early for my flight, which is plenty when there's no lineup at security. Can we agree on that at least? Post on this Flair site on Facebook. It's called Flair Airlines Nightmares. And there's people in there like sticking up for this airline. They're saying you have to be at 3 hours before your flight. No, you don't. Although I would suggest it, okay? The ticket counter opens up 3 hours before the flight. So I get it. Don't forget, this is domestic, everybody. I'm not flying to the US. I'm flying within Canada. So it's different. The security is different. You don't have to go through a million checkpoints. It's just Canada. So the rules are different. According to their website, on this graphic here. I'm showing you the graphic so you can see that I'm right. Because I was confusing in my complaint post because I was just really upset at the time, and I'm going to call Flair Airlines out. No word of a lie. I checked my thing before I get in the line. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was cheap. The reason I booked this is because it's like $99. I'm like, I've never seen a flight for that cheap. I'm booking it. For some reason, when I put in my date to go, Google brought up a different date, and it was stupid of me. I bought the wrong ticket for the wrong date. But I always buy insurance. Always on my flights. Always. Doesn't matter. Vacations, doesn't matter. I always purchase insurance. It's the only insurance I actually will purchase. That and Apple Care for my Apple products are the only 2 things I will purchase insurance on, or warranties. Okay? That's it. Don't ever purchase any other warranties or anything like that. Don't do it. Okay? Those are the 2 things I would never, ever skimp on, and I think you should either. If you're ever buying tickets, and I'm glad I did because I can cancel it or move it to a different flight, which is fine. Okay? So I get in line, the lady's like, I'm looking, I'm just checking. I'm like, I can't check in online. She's like, oh, that's because it's September 11th. I'm like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And I'm like, what can I do? She's like, well, just go online, buy the ticket. So I go online. I'm like, because I'm already pissed at this point. I'm like, I hate myself. I'm really hard on myself when I make mistakes. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I buy, the next ticket's only $139. Still an amazing deal. Okay. So I go to Flair Airlines. I buy the ticket for $139. While I'm still in line, everybody, I'm still in line. Still in line. And there's still plenty of time. I think at this point it is 5:45. I buy my ticket. So it's still 1 hour before we're supposed to get to the airplane, which is plenty of time considering there's no lineup at security, okay? I know this is a long story. It's story time with Josh. Get my ticket. I'm allowed to, I need you guys to hear this, okay? The website allows me to buy the ticket, no problem. Put my credit card information and boom, here's your ticket. You're all set. Here's your email confirmation. You're all set. I press check in, can't check in because I don't have a bag to check. Okay? This airline charges you an extra $50 for like a bag check, not like putting under the airplane, like when you bring on the airplane with you. $50 for that, plus $50 if you want to pick your seat. It's like, it's a la carte, right? That's why it's so cheap, because it's bare bones, which is, I understand that, which is why I brought a bag that they're allowed to bring on for free. I'm telling you this because it's important, because Flair Airlines is a piece of shit. So I buy my ticket, and I need you to understand again that it allowed me to buy my ticket. Okay, that's going to be important in a second. This is when the lady comes over and says, okay, all you guys, the person in front of me, plus me and like 7 other people, we're not going to be able to check you guys in. And I said, first of all, it was very hard to understand her because obviously English wasn't her first language. That's it. I get that. So none of us really understood what she meant. Meaning like what? No one was like, what do you mean? We're in line. So I don't know what she meant. We all wait in line. We get to the front of the line. Like, I know that seems really like I'm passing that over, but that's basically, she just said, oh yeah, we're checking, you're good here. And then she walked away. We didn't know. We're all looking at each other like, what does she say? We don't know, right? We don't know. So we're all a little bit worried. We've got an hour before our flight, 5 more minutes. I get to the check-in counter because my check-in isn't working, remember? I get to the check-in counter at 5:51. Which is 6 minutes past the time you're supposed to be leaving. She's like, I can't check in. You guys are basically, for all intents and purposes, you're screwed is what she told us. All of us. Everybody, me and everybody behind me and the person in front of me. All of us were screwed. And I said, no, come on now. That's not very fair. We've been here in line since way before we were supposed to be here. She's like, that's just the way it goes. She basically was being a complete and utter douchebag to us. Now, when I went on that website, and other people who, when I commented on my video, were just like, oh, you're such a diva, Josh. You're such a diva. You show up late and you expect them to hold a plane for you. No, morons who said that. No, morons. No, I don't. If I was late, then I'd be like, hey, I'm late. I wasn't late. I was literally 45 minutes early. Even according to their own website, I still had 10 minutes to check in, as you can see from this graphic here. 45 minutes before the flight, we should be allowed to get our boarding pass. Don't forget, it's not working on the thing. And I was pressing that thing at the exact time. Now I'm going to go back to that moment where I bought the ticket, right? Why is Flair Airlines still selling tickets you can't check in for? Like, no problem buying it with your credit card, paying for it, boom, boom, boom. But the moment I got it, can't check in anymore. That's amazing. Right? You shouldn't be allowed to sell tickets to an airplane that you can't check into anymore, right? They should have a cutoff time on their website, which is quite simple to do in your coding or whatever the thing is. Cut off. Sorry, no more flights for this airplane. I checked after I wasn't allowed to check in. Still could buy flights. So that's my thing is that this is super unfair. And you guys know me and Justice. Like, if injustice is happening, I am angry. Okay, that's what my whole damn platform is. The injustice of kids being exploited online. If injustice is happening, because my whole life has been injustice. When you live poor, you are a lower class citizen than the rest. You live in a class system where rich people get more because they can, my whole life has just been, until up to this moment, to more recently, has just been being shit on by the government, by industry, by banks, everything. If you are poor, and a lot of you who might live in this type of world know, poor people get more insufficient fund hits on their bank accounts and they're always in debt. They might miss a bill payment, so their credit is shit. It's just the way poor people are. Now, I'm not saying everybody poor is taking this airline, no, but I'm saying people who can't afford to fly anywhere really will use this airline because it's cheap and they just get shit on. Okay, so that when injustice happens, The dad cape comes on and I'm like, you don't get to do this. And yes, I will use my platform to call this shit out. That's why I have a platform. I can do with my platform what I choose. Now, a lot of people will come at me and say, well, Josh, you get mad at don't you know who I am? I'm a YouTuber. No, but I will tell them, like, I am a YouTuber with a pretty big platform. I'm going to call you guys out because you deserve to be called out. I know that sounds diva, and maybe it is, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, cool. So my question is, why are you allowed to book a flight, pay for a flight that you can't physically check into? Because we get to the front and I recorded her and there's a couple videos of that. And she's just crazy. She's crazy. I'm gonna show you those videos. So I get to the line, and I'm not a person who starts yelling. I would never yell in a public area. I'm not a Karen. Okay, I'm a Karen to the degree that if you're screwing me and 7 people behind me, yeah, I'll go Karen. Sure, why not? Where's your manager? I'm asking where your manager is. I'd like to speak to somebody higher up. The lady in line whose English was not her first language, we were all asking her, all 7 of us. We're like, okay, so what can we do? She's like, call customer service. Okay, great. What's the number? She gives us the number, and I bet you if I called that number right now, bet you it still doesn't work. You want to try it? Let's try it. So if you call that number, it says not open till 7:30. So she's giving us a number that you can't call anyway, right? That you can't speak to somebody. She's lying. So even if you called now when it's supposed to be open, let's see.
Thank you for calling Flair Airlines. Our voice line is now closed. You can still reach us via chat by visiting our website or using our mobile app. Our call center agents are able to send you a boarding pass.
Okay, but notice another thing there. Their call center's closed. It's never open. It's 8:14 a.m. right now. It's not open. It's supposed to be open. Also, they don't give you any hours of when it is open. Because what happens is you call the center and you have to chat with a chat bot, and the chat bot just doesn't get back to you. Like I asked and they're like, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. You already bought your ticket. Flight's already gone. You're screwed. I'm like, excuse me? I bought a ticket. Why are you selling tickets no one could check into? So I said that in the video as well. Let's look at that. This is me asking her what her name is. She has her mask down below her face because no one's compliant. But as soon as I'm asking her what her name is so that I can talk to a manager, she does this.
What's your name? You don't have no name. You have no name. Excellent. We're allowed to buy tickets on your website. I just paid $200 for a ticket, but you won't give me a boarding pass to get on your plane. I'm an hour early. Like your website says. Your counter.
So she says, I need you to hear that. She says, once counters are closed, we don't have no way of getting you a boarding pass. Remember, she said that.
They're open. You have people working here. There's 3 people at your counter open right now. This lady's gonna have a mental breakdown. Give her a boarding pass, please.
The bag is not even gonna make it.
So she's like, okay, I need you to hear that too. Well, the bag's not gonna make it. Okay. Then I say, well, I don't have a bag and now a lot of people are calling me out like, oh, Josh is trying to throw her under the bus. Help me. No, I'm like, I'm trying to prove that this lady is being an idiot and being a complete douchebag. I'm like, well, I don't have a bag to check. Give me a boarding pass. Because right now she's pivoting, right? She's pivoting over to, oh, well, her bag won't make it. Okay. So she's looking for excuses to screw people. Okay. And I need you to know that she said that they can't, but I have a video of her. There's another family who were supposed to be on a different flight because I was waiting. Another flight, they said, no, you can't go. But she let them go even though they were late. So she can give boarding. And I have a video of it.
I'm sorry, but I can't do anything. I don't have access to this.
You don't have access?
She has no access to a system that she literally has access to. It's a lie. Again, everybody's like, well, how do you know, Josh? How do you know? Did you work for the airport? Yeah, I did. I did actually do exactly what this lady does. I know she doesn't even work for Flair. She's likely contracted, which I was too, for Sunwing Airlines. I worked for WestJet and Sunwing. I was a ground handler and I was a CSA, which she is right here. I was a CSA checking people in and putting people on airplanes. I did that for a year. So yes, I have done this. I've done it. Okay. No, I guarantee if you went down to WestJet and you showed up an hour early before your flight, they wouldn't close the flight an hour before that. They would get you there. They would try anyway. Also, what's the big deal? Let's say it is far away, and it is, right? Why don't you just let me try to get to my flight? If I miss that flight, that's on me, okay? But I got to my gate when I bought the ticket in the afternoon. I got to that gate in the afternoon when there was a lineup for security and got to the gate within 15 minutes. No problem with a lineup. There was 0 lineup here. So I could have got to that gate in less than 7-8 minutes. But here's the thing. I understand that people working through COVID have had a rough go. The airport they're stressed, they're understaffed, everybody's hearing it. People who fly have a big entitlement issue. As I know, as I worked for airlines, I get it. I'm not trying to be entitled here. I'm just trying to get what's I paid for. And I even said in the video later, I'm like, I know it's not your fault, but please, can you help us? Please, I always say, hey, look, I know it's not you. I know you're just trying to, can you please help this lady? You can't see her because I didn't put her on camera. She's literally bawling. She had a mental, I've never seen anybody cry. She's trying to get somewhere and she's just mentally broken. She's been at the airport since 3 a.m. She couldn't find the gate, like I told you. And her English was not her first language either. And she was having a hard time finding someone to help her to where to go. And then I'll show you another video of a guy who said the same thing. Couldn't find it. Went to a different gate. Flair Airlines was at a different thing. And they're just like, no one told him anything. I'll tell you, again, this is not the problem of people. Like, I get it. It sort of is. But there's got to be some flexibility for human error and for, like, things that happen in life. Like, what happens if you got in an accident or stuck in traffic? Like, maybe you can't get there. Again, WestJet or Air Canada would never do that to you. They would help you get to your flight. They really, really would. But they're not discount. This lady is trying to literally gets off on on doing this. I'm not kidding you. There are people like this in the airline industry, and anybody who works in the airline industry, you know it. It's like your way of paying back the world. It's because you hate your life and your job, and so you do this to piss people off. I would never have done that. I was great at customer service. I would help anybody to unless you're showing up and the plane is gone. That's different, okay? Sorry, your plane's gone. Or it's already checking in and there's no possible way you can get there, and we don't want somebody in security on the other side. Like, I got that. So I'm telling you, I know from experience that she can do this, okay? Because I worked there.
Your system that she's checking people in right now too. Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
She's checking for the passenger's reservation.
I don't have a bag to check in. Can I get a check?
So you can hear her crying.
I fucking traveled all the world, everywhere, never had this shit happen.
This is insane.
So there's a bunch of people, I'm not showing them in camera because it's like, whatever, I'm not going to show them. But she's just like, click, 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 I don't care, just like, terrible at customer service. This is, again, this isn't just some random worker, everybody. She is the acting manager on this site, because when I pulled up to check in, she's like, oh no, you got to go talk to her. And they would all go to her. She is the manager on site for this. Okay, so she's not some random person. She gets paid more. She's more training to do this. This is her job, is to field complaints from people that are coming up to the counter. She knows the system more than everybody else. The other 3 people who are checking people in, we talked to them afterwards, and they were like, we're so sorry. They were so apologetic. They were amazing, okay? Just beautiful people. She didn't say sorry, not once, sorry about that. Not even, because a customer service rep is like, I'm really sorry this happened to you, but unfortunately, she was just like, nope, can't do it. Click, click, sorry, piss off. The other people were apologetic. Security came over because this lady that you hear crying was bawling her eyes out and was like causing a scene. Even I was like, I'm stepping away a little bit because I'm like, whatever. Like, she was really ready to like go toe to toe with this lady here. Okay. Security comes over and security is like, no, we got it. This happens like 5 times a day with Flair Airlines. He didn't tell her to be quiet. He didn't like, you lady, you're going to have to calm down and come with us. No, he was like, no, we get it. We're just here because we know that Flair Airlines does this to people, and we have to literally stand by the Flair Airlines desk because this happens like 10 to 15 times a day. They do this to people 10 to 15 times a day. So adjust a little bit maybe, hey? Flair Airlines? You're like, I don't care if your flights are free. I would never fly with this airline ever again. Ever. Because you can't even call customers. And that's what she said too. She said, call customer service. We're all like, it's closed, lady. We can't call. When does it open? Oh, I don't know. Like, what the f*** do you do? So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? We're like, you can't help us? You need a kitten hit. We need kitten hits. So, again, I know I'm sounding like a diva, but I'm telling you guys, yes, I booked the wrong ticket for the wrong day, and I'm stupid, but I bought my insurance. But I also purchased the ticket before the cutoff. And even if I didn't, why are they selling tickets that you can't get on an airplane for? Just saying, right? Things happen. You can get to the flight. If you can get to the flight, you can do it. The one guy went down to WestJet and came back and said WestJet would have allowed us to go on. So I'm just telling you, making the argument that she's doing this and she's getting off on being a complete and utter disgusting piece of shit. That's what I'm telling you. I just don't get it. If you don't want to like help people, why are you working in an industry where you have to help people? Okay? People are highly stressed when they travel. Okay, and again, I want to point this out. This is a minor inconvenience for me. I lost like $150. Okay, to a lot of people, that's a lot of money. To me, it's not a big deal right now because I find a way to get my money back. But it's a minor inconvenience for me because I don't have a way to get home. I just paid $130 to get to this airport, so I'm a little bit pissed. Okay, and people are like, oh, you have no right to be. Of course I do. You have a right to be pissed when you know how the system works. Okay, I fly a lot. I worked for an airline just like this. I know how this works.
This is against the passenger bill of rights. You have to help us get to our destination.
So this lady came over and said, this is against the passenger bill of rights. You have to help us get to our destination. And she's right.
The law. It's the Canadian law.
Can you guys check us in, or
I was asking the other nice ladies if they could check us in, and they're like, so, yeah, that's her, because she's the manager.
have a check
She's the one telling everybody to piss off.
bag? I just have this. I just bought my ticket.
It says it's closed. Customer service is closed.
Yeah, you can't call your
Yeah, so that lady just called customer service like we all did. It's closed.
customer service line, nothing.
You know what they're gonna answer? Go to the website. They're gonna answer the way you're in in 5 days. I'm stuck here. I don't have money to stay somewhere. What the fuck do I do?
See, she's just ignoring people. If you are in customer service, all you have to do is, hey, ma'am, we're really, really sorry. Like, just use some skills. Why you just, what is she playing, Minecraft? What is she doing on there? She's just ignoring people. This is your job. Sorry, you took this job. You've got to de-escalate situations. And she could have checked, she could have just, you know what she could have done? Just given us our boarding passes. And if we missed our flight, that's on us. So we walk away. We might be mad, but you know, at least I tried. I wouldn't be angry. I'd be like, look, I tried to get down there. Couldn't. The thing is, we could have. My argument to you is we could have made it to the flight. No problem. All of us. No problem. We would have been like 35 minutes before they even started boarding or calling people up. They didn't even board the flight probably until 6:45. Like the airplane probably was late and everything else. We probably wouldn't even be able to open the door and got on until 7. We had plenty of time is what I'm telling you. And I need you to remember also to go back to remember that we were on time and early in the line. They just took their sweet ass time checking people in. So they could have just got more people. I don't know. I'm showing you this because she flipped her pass. She can't see who she is. That's a no-no at airports. You have got to put your pass where you can see in Ottawa, where I worked, you had a red pass, which is secret clearance. You can't even work at the airport unless you have like clean criminal record, all the stuff. You can't. Anywhere in Ottawa for governments and stuff, it's called a red pass. You have like a high security clearance. You can't work at the airport without a high security clearance. You have to show your pass at an airport as a part of security. She flipped it because she didn't want anybody to know who she was. I can't blame her because she likely is just a representative for the airline, doesn't work for the airline. Does that make sense? Like they're contracted to be customer service representatives for different airlines, probably Swoop and everything else, right? Because all the systems are very similar. You're not allowed to do that.
That's not our fault. If you went to the wrong terminal, that's not our fault.
So she went to the wrong terminal, okay? That's not our fault. That's great customer service, by the way. You have no empathy for anybody at all. You're a customer service representative for an airline. You're like, not my fault. You suck, you idiot. Well, if you just put it on our pass or our receipt where we're supposed to go, nobody would have problems because another guy did have a problem. He couldn't find it. They went to a different terminals, 3 terminals at the airport. All of them have this stupid Swift thing, but we don't know where to go because our ticket doesn't tell us where to go. So that's kind of on you guys, not gonna lie. That's not on people. We can't read your mind. And the airport is so huge, you have to take a train between terminals. Now, I'm gonna show you this video of this guy, and I asked him if I could post this, and he said, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. He's Jamaican, and he's amazing. And I talked to him for like 10 minutes. This poor guy, just trying to get home. Okay, everybody's just trying to get home. So this is what happened. He's trying to. I love these guys at the airport.
I walk there, I went upstairs, I call the line, the airport says to me, oh sir, no, it's not Freedom, it's Flair. I went back down to the same line, spoke to the same person.
Yeah.
Oh yes, go this line.
So his thing was, he called Flair. Can't call Flair, because they don't have a phone you can call. So even if you try to get information because you're confused, you can't. Whose fault is that? If you call WestJet, they'll get you where you need to go. Call Air Canada, they'll get you. Any major airline, they've got customer service. Why do you have an airline when you can't call somebody on? Right? They're like, that's just, again, there's no excuse for that. And so of course you're going to have and again, I'm not just saying this is me and 6 other people. The security guard says this happens every day on every single flight that they have. That's a problem. So why are they being allowed to operate in Canada? There's a class action lawsuit being compiled right now, and I don't blame people.
So you're stranded here in the Toronto airport, right? Okay. Yeah.
So she's crying, and I asked her if I could film this. Obviously, she said yes. She has a newborn strapped to her body and is being denied to board.
Okay.
Again, why are we like? I get everybody's like, well, you broke the rules, Josh. Like, if you're in that position, you're gonna say that. She was a little late. She arrived at the airport at 5:55. That one there. So I get that. She's over an hour before, and so you can say, oh, she's really late. But do you have no compassion or empathy for anybody? Like zero? This woman has a newborn trying to fly to get home. And you're like, well, she's late. That's to be you. Are you kidding me? You have an hour. You have way more than enough time you need to get to the airplane. Just don't be a dick is all I'm asking. Okay? Look, I can be a dick to people who are like this, who use their platform to complain and all that shit, but they're usually wrong, is what I'm saying. Okay? It's different. This isn't narcissistic tendencies. These people are just trying to fly. Again, it's a minor inconvenience for me, everybody. I just booked the next flight and left at 6 p.m. It wasn't a big deal. I lost like $500, which is a big deal, and I'm going to get it back. And how the only way I can get that back is now to do a chargeback on my credit card, a fraud chargeback on my credit card, because I'm like, I have all the proof I need on all the text messages and in chat. The chat wouldn't even talk to you. They're like, oh, sorry, we can't do anything. I'm like, well, yeah, why did you sell me a ticket I can't print a boarding pass for? Why? And they wouldn't answer you. They just log off. I have it all. I have all the proof. Here, I'll show you. Here's a lady.
Orange jacket. Because she already told me this is last passenger.
Yes.
So she said, she already told me you're the last passenger. These people right here.
They have a lineup here, but because you're like 2 minutes late, they won't let you take your flight. Just so you're aware. That's what we're all dealing with right now. This is Flair.
Okay, see those people? See that? She's telling them you can't get in line, you're late. Right? So everybody who's coming at me like, oh, they physically can't print boarding passes. Oh, is that so? Okay, well, let's scroll up a couple of videos, shall we?
Oh, so you're gonna let them go through? I thought you weren't allowed. That's awesome. So you're a damn liar. That's awesome. Thanks for proving it, though. I got it.
Okay, I know I was super pissed, and I probably should have done that. I'll take responsibility, but I was so angry because you saw that girl, who is the same girl who told us we couldn't check in, same line, just down this way a bit, told that family they couldn't check in, they're late. Still gave them their boarding passes. They were over an hour before their flight. I'm just trying to prove to you that easily she could have given us our boarding passes, because those people were even later than we were. They were like 45 minutes to their flight. She still gave them a pass. Likely because we were all standing around filming and like putting pressure on. And I'm glad that family got through. I really am. I'm super happy they did. But I'm also glad that they proved me right and everybody else right that this lady was just being a complete and utter douchebag. Because she checked them in an hour. So all those people coming at me like, no, they can't, Josh. I just proved to you that they can. Receipts. Suck my receipts. Flair Airlines. So I said, hello. Allow me a minute to check your reservation. Checks my reservation, and she says, upon checking your reservation, the flight has already departed. Well, yeah, it departed. This is like an hour later when I can get a hold of chat. Yes, without me on it, and I was denied the flight as I purchased it. The flight should not have been allowed to be purchased if I wasn't able to check in. Please refund. The gate agent told me to buy my ticket online, so I did. Then she told me I was too late, even though the flight didn't leave for an hour and there was no delay at security. I have it all recorded for records if you want the footage. Please refund. And then they said, as much as I want to, we cannot refund your reservation. I'm like, okay. Can I get a refund for my September flight then, please? And I gave her the flight number because I have insurance on that. Confirm, please. I will be forced to do a fraud report by credit card company, blah, 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 blah. It leads up to this point. Like, we're talking, they didn't talk to me for the next. And then when Julin 360 has left the chat, they just didn't respond. Flair Airlines can suck my white ass. All right? I'm never going to fly with Flair again. Right? I get that people are like, well, Josh, you expect people to bend the rules for you? I know. I was on time, way early. And even if we weren't, we had enough time to get to the flight. And I proved to you with receipts on video that she could have printed our boarding passes. She was just being a jerk because maybe she had a bad day, right? Maybe she just wanted to piss people off. But man, let's go back to the security guard. This happens on every flight. Like 6 to 7 people are denied boarding every day. So maybe adjust a little bit and just say, you know what? If they can get to the flight, let them get to the flight. Okay, just let us try. Why the inhumanity? I don't understand this. Pearson Airport is already the shittiest airport in the world, and they're getting so much flack. And then it's because of this. Because people like this just straight up being complete jackwagons to everybody. Hire more people then. Increase the rate of pay. right? It's crazy. So, and again, I went over to the WestJet counter. I said, would you have done this? And they're like, no. Air Canada, no. Nobody would do this. I wanted to check to see, like, are you serious? Of course they wouldn't. Because they have a reputation. Flair's reputation is shit, I'm telling you. There's a Facebook group called Flair Airlines Nightmares. Okay, and I went and posted this shit, and there's people in there going to bat for Flair Airlines. I'm like, why are you on the page that hates Flair Airlines? Going to bat for them because they have people in those Facebook groups trying to, like, that's how they mitigate it. Here's how you can mitigate your shitty airline if you really want to do it. Are you listening? Got your listening ears on? Stop being assholes to people. Start putting people first. If you can get to the flight, let them get to the flight. Let the person make the decision at the front, and they do. But they don't, because you can't even call. Maybe have a customer service line so we can call you. I don't know. Just spitballing. I don't even know how these people are allowed to operate. And I can't wait and I will join the class action lawsuit too. I'll help pay for it. Let's go. Take this airline away from, don't let them fly. They're not even allowed to fly to certain airports anymore because of their reputation. That's going to happen here. Shitty, and they'll just start another shitty ass airline. They'll just put different logos on the airplane that they own. They don't care. They rip people off. That's the problem. I hate when people get ripped off. That really bothers me, especially the people behind me and people who fly in these airlines generally are like, don't have a lot of money. And so that's why they were breaking down and crying, because they don't have money to get on the next flight with their families to go see what they need to go to work. They're screwed because of Flair Airlines. Again, minor inconvenience for me, but I have a platform and I will use it to help get justice for my fellow passengers, right? Okay, that's not even the end of it, okay? Shit's just getting started to my beautiful, wonderful day. So, I don't have a ride back home. The next flight's not till 6 p.m. So, I hop on a damn bus. I kid you not. And I liked it. I haven't taken a bus since I was little. I only have bad memories because we were poor and we had to take buses everywhere. So I just don't. If I can avoid it, I don't. But went downstairs, hopped on a Go bus. There's 2 deckers. Sweet. Okay? Get home in like 2.5 hours. Call Tyson to pick me up at the Go bus station in our town. He's sleeping. That asshole. It's like 11. Wake your ass up, and he turns this thing on so you can't call him. Nothing I can do to get him up. So I get home, I got my big backpack, which is on the floor. It's big, giant backpack, okay? Which I paid for on Flair, by the way. And I've got my Bluntstones on, because I'm traveling stylish. I got jeans on and a sweater, because I know it's a little bit colder where I'm going to the East Coast. Get to the thing. Still can't get a hold of Tyson. I'm like, I guess I'm walking. I suppose I got to take an Uber. But at this point, it's the principle. Okay, I've spent $500 in the last 2.5 hours and got nowhere. 130 at the airport, 130 plus bag for ticket. So we're at like 300. Another ticket that I lost for September 11th because they wouldn't refund it, and then a $40 to get home in the bus. Okay, I'm like, I'm not paying Uber. F Uber. I'm walking. Start walking. Okay, I'm sweating like a hooker in church. Okay, just sweating. It's hot as balls. And I'm wearing a sweater. So take my coat off, take my sweater off, put everything, pack it all in. I get a Starbucks lemonade, and I got to huck it about 7 kilometers, okay? So I'm walking, and then my freaking gout flares up. I kid you not. And I am, at this point, you just have that, there's a breaking point, and you're just like, I'm real close to this. I'm either going to cry, or I'm just going to just keep walking. So I just keep walking, right? I'm pissed. Just nothing's going right. Gout flares up. Ouch. If you don't have gout, it sucks. Okay, it's not the worst thing in the world, it's just a light flare up. So it sucks. Because I'm wearing tighter boots, so my boots are a little bit tight because I have orthotics in them, and it just flares up my gout. So I'm walking with gout. I got my Starbucks lemonade. Okay, it's all good. I'm gonna burn some calories, get my steps in. Sweat and just sweat. And okay, I have a newer iPhone. I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Okay, it's a pretty new iPhone because I use it for work and stuff like that. It's really important to me to have a good phone. This phone has never died on me. The battery is amazing. It has never died on me. But because I'm on phones, I'm on websites, I'm at the airport, I'm doing all this stuff, my phone, I'm listening to my audiobook, I'm listening to the terminal list, and I'm like, at least I got my book, right? I can listen to my book, I can walk, it's all good. I get some steps, there's a silver lining here. I get exercise, I get to listen to this really good book. The phone dies, not even halfway through my walk. It dies. So I couldn't even call Tyson every 10 minutes to be like, hey, can you come swing by? Nope. I'm on an island. I don't even have a quarter for a payphone. I'm just walking. I know. So I'm just like, you get so mad. You're just like, well, let's see what else can go wrong. Let's stack it up. Shall we? Okay. Get home, I am just sweating. And Tyson's like, oh yeah, well the cats have been peeing on the floor and pooping on the floor because we brought these cats here, just take care of them for a couple of days until this family member can get into a place where they can take the cats back. Okay, I have 2 older cats who are seniors who don't like their territory being seen. Put the cats in the basement, and one of them pissed down here and it smells like cat piss. Not kidding. So he's like, sorry. I'm like, I don't care anymore. Let's see what else can go wrong. So he's like, sorry to wake up. And he's still dead sleeping when I got home at like noon. Okay. Just out. Oh, so what? I'm like, Tyson, I'm going to cut you. He's like, sorry. Yeah, it's not his fault. So, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to book a flight for tomorrow. Fine. I got to go get this RV. It's going to cost me even like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to leave it out there from one day past where I need to pick it up. So I have to get there in the next 2 days. Okay. So the next flight the next day is on Air Canada. It's $1,000 and I'm not. Okay. Not. My car, I can't even drive my Tesla out because the damn car is in the shop getting the wrap fixed. And for like 2 weeks. So I can't even drive it out. And I can't leave Tyson without a car. Right. So I'm not driving out. So I'm like, okay, what's the next flight tonight? Book it on Swoop Airlines, which I'm pretty sure is owned by the same damn company. Same shit, different pile. But $350 for this flight, you got to pay for bags. So I was like, okay, I'm going to spare my shit down into a tiny little thing that you're allowed to have on, basically a purse, okay? Get it all in there. Got my Pringles, important thing, okay? Got my license plates for the RV. I got everything I need. It's all in that little thing. Got a little bit of nibs, too. I like my nibs. Sorry this is so long. I get Tyson to drive me to the Go Bus because Tyson cannot drive, does not want to drive on the highway. I can't force him to drive me to the airport. I will never do it because safety first. So get back on the damn Go Bus. $40 to get to the airport. I left at 1 p.m. I got to the airport 2.5 hours before my flight. I'm like, I don't care. And the freaking Go Bus was an hour late at Square One Mall in Mississauga. And I'm just sweating bullets. Like, oh my God, please. Because I'm like, it's going to go wrong. That's what I'm thinking, right? I'm pissed already. The bus was an hour late. Finally gets there. We get to the airport. I'm in time. Great. And I almost wasn't. I get to the line at Swoop because I couldn't check in online again. I buy my Swoop ticket and I go to check in. No, website's down. Can't do it. I'm like, oh my God. You know those days? You're like, yep. It's going to go wrong. Am I going to get murdered next? What's going to happen? It's going to happen. Let's do it. I don't even care. I want to see how much shit can go down. So I get to Terminal 1 because that's where Go Bus is. I had to take a train to Terminal 3. I left my pillow on that train that goes between terminals. My pillow. My favorite pillow. Didn't even notice till I got on the airplane. I was like, oh, where's my pillow? Awesome. Okay. No problem getting Swoop Airlines. They said, no, you're just on time. Great ticket. I'm like, thank the Lord on high. Get to security. Huge lineup. Fine. So be it. Get through security. You have to wear masks. Everybody's wear a mask. I'm like, nobody else wear masks. They have to ask you, and you can say no if you don't want. You can just say, but you cannot get in an airplane without a mask still. It's crazy to me because airplanes are probably the safest place because of the HEPA filter that literally exchanges the air, I think, every 3 minutes. Science, though, right? Science. So, going through the line. I hate wearing masks, by the way, but I wear a KN95 when I do have to wear them because if I'm going to wear one, I'm going to wear the proper one. That shit, I'm already sweating because I'm fat, right? And I get through security. Everything's all good. No problem. I go down and sit down to eat. They had a smash burger there. Delicious. And it was actually pretty cheap. Pretty surprised. Got my smash burger and got my tots. Okay. Then I think, okay, my gate's B2. I'm like, oh, good. That must be right here. Because you get into a gate, you think it's going to go numerically. Nope. This is where I was. I'll put it up here. This is where I had to go. Okay. It's like 2 kilometer walk to get to my gate. It is the farthest gate possible in this entire gate. I'm not even saying there's one farther. It is the farthest one. So it starts at B like 30. And then you gotta go through a maze of like all these, at least they had, you know those walk things you can walk on? They're like escalators, but they're walking ones. At least they had those. So I get to the end of that shit and I am just like sweating to the oldies, okay? Like I'm sweating. Get there on time, no problem. I got about an hour. And the silver lining lady comes over, she's like, oh my God, my son and I want you. Can I get an autograph? I'm like, are you sure? That's like it's my sleep paralysis demon to be recognized in public. I know you guys think I don't like it. I'd rather have this platform and make the money I make and stuff like that, and then not be recognized in public. I'd rather never have fame. But she was really, really nice, and I was like, "Are you sure you want an autograph? It's not worth anything." She's like, "It's for my son." So I write down her name. Yeah, thanks. She's like, "Oh, we love your show. We love the Doherty Dozen videos." So I was like, "Hey, I'm glad you do. I really appreciate it." She's super nice. So that was a little silver lining. Get on the flight. No problems, thank God. Got my own seat, everything. I slept like a rock because I've been up since 3:30, right? And stressed and sweating and walking and just, at least I had Pringles, that's all I'm saying, okay? Come through, you don't get any water, it's not free. On principle, nope, I don't want your damn $5 water bottle, okay? I will die here of thirst before I give you any more money, okay? So I get to St. John, I'm flying out to St. John, get there, my sister's waiting, great, everything's great. Get to my hotel, everything's great. Finally a hotel, get my own king-size bed, but because I'm so conditioned, because my son still sleeps in our bed, like he comes in the middle of the night every night, my wife and I sleep on the sliver of our bed, and he sleeps and sprawls in the middle. I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I had this whole king-size bed, but I still sleep on this much of the bed. It was a great sleep. So everything's starting to look up decent, right? And my family says, well, we're moving today. I'm like, well, I thought you moved already. Nope. So they're like, okay, well, let's go get the moving truck and I'll help you out and we'll go back to the RV, grab your stuff out and I'll head out. No. They need some help. So I'm like, okay, that's what family does. We help each other. So I spent the entire day in skinny jeans and like a nice shirt moving, which is fine. I'm happy to help. And they have so much shit. I kid you not. Like, we filled a 26-foot truck and had to go back for more later. We get to the apartment, we get to the house they're moving into. Awesome. I'm glad that they got a place because it took them so long to find a place. It's a small staircase, like this wide, no kidding, up 2 flights of stairs to get to their apartment. Oh my God. So we're hucking moving shit for like 12 hours. It is what it is. You help family. That's what you do, okay? And I didn't really know my brother-in-law that really well. And I got to know him really. He's a really good kid. I like him a lot. Really super hard worker. And we got to, lots of conversations with my nephews and my nieces. Just had a good day. It was good. I didn't expect it, but we did it. Next day, so I stayed in a hotel the next day because I'm like, I need a good sleep, right? I'm just burned out from just working all day and having a couple bad days. Cool. Get to the RV the next day. Everything's going great. Put the plates on it. Try to turn it on. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? Shit doesn't work. This shit doesn't work. So, take the old battery out. Well, we tried to boost it. Didn't work. The battery's dead. Completely dead, right? Take the old battery out. Huck it over to Canadian Tire. Hey? Get a brand new battery, $160. Throw the brand new battery in. Yes! I'm crying. Tears of joy. Tears of joy. Thank God. So, get in the RV. We empty out the Blackwater tank. My nephew kicks the end of the one in the fucking Blackwater all over the place. There's literally shit water on my shoe now. Shitter was full. So you guys are aware.
Merry Christmas! Shitter was full!
No problem. I'm having a bad day. Doesn't matter. I got Blundstones on, by the way, and those are like waterproof, beautiful. Awesome. Just wash it off. No problem. Get everything settled. That's just like the least of it. I know. Let's see what else could go wrong. Can't wait to get fly off a Korean off a damn cliff by accident on my way home. It's probably gonna happen. So we get them moved in, move the RV over to their house, pick up the rest of their stuff out of the RV. They get gone. I say bye. All hugs. I gotta get out of here. Right? I gotta get home. I got a 19-hour drive ahead of me. Okay, on this 1989 4350, like loud as F RV. I love this RV though. Okay, got my AirPods in, got my book. We're ready to go. I'm driving along. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's great, just great. Air conditioning doesn't work. It's awesome. Air conditioning's broken, and I'm sweating while driving. Okay. Woosah. Fine, whatever. I'll sweat my ass off. Gas $1.71. On my way home, I stopped. This thing eats gas, but I did get it. It's better on gas when you drive a little slower. So we're going along, driving along. It's about, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. Look out the side, freaking sparks and flames. What the F was that? I say to myself, but I said it loudly. What the heck? And it's like, It still drove. I'm like, okay. What was that? Sparks flying out. Something fell off my truck. I'm like, what the hell was that? So I keep driving and then hit it again. Something else and then more sparks. So I pull over. I get off the next exit because it still sort of drove, but it was like something was wrong. Pull up to this garage. This is when everything started turning around for me, okay? Sort of. This first place I pulled up was this garage, clearly French, in the middle of Quebec. If you don't know anything about Quebec, everybody, if you are in Quebec, I mean even just crossing the border from Ottawa into Quebec, nobody speaks English. Barely. But if you're in the heart of Quebec, nobody speaks English. And if you speak English, you could be killed. I'm just kidding, you can't, but you know what I'm saying? They don't speak a lick of English. None. I can understand French to a degree and speak it a little bit because we're taught that in school, right? But apparently they're not taught English in school in Quebec. So anyway, I digress. I get out, I look around, I'm looking at the truck, nothing. Mosquitoes start eating me alive. I'm in the middle of like mosquito. Apparently it's like where the mosquitoes all go for vacation, right? They're all coming from Bits of Breeze Mosquito Farm in Hawaii, right here. This is where they're vacationing, okay? So I go and look at my tire. This is what happened to my tire. How the F does that happen? What on earth happened? How? The tire looked good. There was no cracks in it. It was great. The damn tire, it wasn't popped. It just shed the whole liner. But I had dualies, so it's a little bit safer. I pull over, call CAA because I'm not stupid. I have CAA, which is AAA in the USA, okay? And this is when the luck starts. Oh, finally. What else could go wrong? Nothing, because at this point, nothing else can go wrong. Okay, that's got to be it. This has got to be the last one. And it was. Because thank God, I look on the door of the mechanic shop I pulled into, big CAA sticker. The guy lived like right behind the shop, came over after I called CAA, 10 minutes later, fixed the tire up perfect, had a perfectly good spare in the back, all good. I'm like, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Okay, still giving thanks, even through all the shit. He was a really nice guy, didn't understand a word I was saying, but I thanked him profusely. And I gave him a couple Sussex ginger ales because they're delicious. Okay, and then I start driving again, and all is good. Pull over, had a little kip, about 3 hours, and my window's broken in my RV. I didn't know that. That was nice. So it was raining outside and I was getting wet while sleeping. So it was great. But that's okay. That's a little thing. I could fix that later. Get to Ottawa, because that's where I'm leaving the RV, because Mark and I are going to renovate it, right? And then I hop on a train, because I have no ride, and I train it to Toronto. It's all good. The train is beautiful. I love taking the train. Via Rail is really nice. If you haven't taken a train in a while, go take a train. Just have some fun. It was beautiful. I had a nap. I watched some Terminal List. It was great. They have Wi-Fi. Good. Get to where I live. Wife's waiting for me. Just big smiles. We miss each other. I haven't seen her in 5 days. Right? You know what I'm saying? You haven't seen your wife for 5 days? You know when you get home? You know what I'm saying? Same. So all that. Get home and I'm just like, okay, that's my story. And my kids are like, Daddy! And as soon as I walked in and everybody's like, Daddy! All that other shit melts away. Because what really matters is in the end, you're still healthy. You got your family. Everybody loves you. Yeah, you might have lost a bunch of money. You might have had some shit going on. And it's been 5 long days. Probably slept about, 8 hours in the last 3 days. Maybe less. But what really matters is I'm healthy and I'm okay. And I got home alive. But I'm still pissed at Flair Airlines. I'm going to think in my sign outs from now on, I want to be like, and remember, don't fly on Flair. They're assholes. So that's my no good, crazy insanity 5 past days. If you were wondering what happened, that's story time from Josh. Hope you liked it. And don't fly Flair. Everybody take a deep breath. Need that one. Sorry, sometimes you just gotta vent. Sometimes venting is the thing you need to do. You need to talk it out. I know I was complaining this whole time. I was being a whole diva. I'm really sorry. I don't do that very often and I won't. But I needed to get that story out today. Just so I had it out. I needed to get it off my chest. And I appreciate you being here and listening to that. Today, you were my therapy. And I appreciate you. You're amazing and beautiful and gorgeous. Don't you damn well forget it. And then, don't ever forget to not fly on Flair Airlines. Those assholes. I'll see you tomorrow.